In the sprawling, opulent mansion of billionaire Alexander Sterling, chaos reigned supreme. Not the chaos of business deals or stock market fluctuations, but the kind brought on by two 7-year-old girls, his twin daughters, Lily and Daisy. After the tragic loss of their mother 2 years prior, the once sweet girls had become tiny terrors. They had systematically driven away a legion of the country's most qualified nannies, governesses, and child psychologists. Their latest victim, a stern woman with a doctorate in child development, had fled in tears after finding her prized pedigree cat dyed neon pink. Alexander was at his wits' end. His immense wealth could buy anything, it seemed, except for peace in his own home and a smile on his daughters' faces. He was exhausted, heartbroken, and desperate. One evening, as Alexander sat in his study, staring blankly at a pile of resumes for yet another potential nanny, a soft knock echoed at the door. It was Sarah, one of the evening janitors. She was a single mother in her late 20s, with kind eyes that held a hint of her own weariness. She was clutching a small, worn-out teddy bear. "Excuse me, Mr. Sterling," she began tentatively, her voice soft but clear. "I hope I'm not overstepping, but I found this near the girls' playroom. I believe it belongs to Lily." She held out the bear. Its ear was partially torn. Alexander recognized it instantly. It had been their mother's last gift to Lily. He'd thought it was lost forever. "I noticed the tear," Sarah continued, pulling a small sewing kit from her pocket. "My son is about the same age, and his favorite stuffed dinosaur, Rexy, is always getting into battles. I've become quite the toy surgeon. If you don't mind, I could fix it for her." Alexander stared at her, a flicker of something he hadn't felt in a long time, hope igniting within him. He had offered fortunes to experts who promised behavioral modification and psychological breakthroughs, yet here was a janitor offering a simple act of kindness. "Please," he said, his voice raspy with emotion. "Please do." The next day, Alexander watched from a security monitor as Sarah approached the twins' playroom during her break. The girls were in the middle of a potion-making session, which involved mixing glitter, juice, and expensive shampoo on a priceless Persian rug. They glared at Sarah, ready to unleash their usual storm. "Who are you?" Daisy snapped. Sarah didn't flinch. She simply smiled and held up the newly repaired teddy bear. "I'm Sarah. I believe this little guy missed you, Lily." Lily's eyes widened. She snatched the bear, inspecting the perfectly stitched ear. A tiny, almost imperceptible smile touched her lips before she quickly suppressed it. "He looks better," she mumbled. Daisy, not to be outdone, pointed a sticky finger at Sarah. "We're busy. Go away." Instead of retreating, Sarah knelt down, her eyes twinkling. "That looks like a powerful potion. What's it for?" The girls exchanged a surprised look. No one ever asked about their games. They only scolded them for the mess. "It's to make mean people disappear," Daisy declared defiantly. Sarah nodded thoughtfully. "A very useful potion indeed. But you know, the best potions often have a secret ingredient. My grandma used to say it was a single drop of kindness." She then glanced at the mess. "And a good cleanup spell afterwards, so the magic doesn't get all sticky." The girls were speechless. This was different. Over the next few weeks, this became their routine. Sarah would use her breaks to visit the girls. She didn't try to discipline them or analyze them. She just saw them. She taught them how to bake cookies, letting them make a glorious mess with the flour. She told them stories of her son, Leo, and his adventures at the local park. She showed them how to make forts out of blankets and pillows, and instead of worrying about the displaced furniture, she would crawl inside with them, sharing secrets in the dim light. The girls, who had built walls of anger and rebellion around their grief, slowly began to let them crumble. They started asking Sarah about her day. They even made a get-well-soon card for Leo when he had a cold. Alexander watched all of this unfold with a sense of awe. The shouting matches had been replaced by giggles. The destructive rampages had turned into creative projects. His daughters were healing, and it was all because of a woman who was paid to clean his floors. He saw how Sarah listened, truly listened, when the girls spoke about their mother, acknowledging their sadness without trying to fix it. She shared stories of people she had lost, validating their feelings of grief. She wasn't just a janitor, she was a miracle worker. He knew what he had to do. One afternoon he called Sarah into his study. He wasn't sitting behind his imposing desk, but on one of the plush sofas. He had already hired a new cleaning crew. "Sarah," he began, his voice filled with gratitude, "I've seen what you've done for my daughters. No expert, no therapist has been able to reach them the way you have. You haven't just managed them, you've brought them back to me." He took a deep breath. "I would like to offer you a new position, not as a nanny, but as a family caregiver. A companion for the girls. Name your salary. Whatever it is, I'll double it. You and your son can move into the guest house. He can play with the girls, attend the best schools. Please, say you'll stay." Tears welled in Sarah's eyes. This was more than she could have ever dreamed of. It was a chance for a new life, for her and for Leo. But more than the money or the house, it was the validation of her belief that a little empathy and understanding could heal even the deepest wounds. "Yes, Mr. Sterling," she said, her voice trembling with happiness. "Yes, I will." From that day on, the Sterling mansion was transformed. It was no longer a cold, silent palace, but a home filled with the sounds of laughter. Leo, Sarah's bright and cheerful son, became the brother the twins never had. The three of them were an inseparable trio, with Sarah as their loving guide. They had picnics in the garden, finger-painted masterpieces in the art room, and built the most magnificent pillow forts the world had ever seen. Alexander found himself leaving work early, not out of duty, but out of a genuine desire to be part of the warmth and joy that now filled his house. He learned to be a father again, not just a provider. Sarah taught him, through her example, how to connect with his children on their level. He joined them in their games, listened to their stories, and tucked them into bed each night. Their teddy bear, a symbol of loss and renewal, tucked safely between them. The millionaire had everything money could buy, but a single mom janitor gave him and his daughters the one thing they truly needed, a family. And in healing their broken hearts, she had also found a place where her own heart could finally call home. Thank you so much for watching. This story is a beautiful reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are not material possessions, but the simple, profound power of human connection and kindness. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more heartwarming stories. We'll see you in the next one.